Hey, Nathan, who are you? What do you do? And what's your problem?
Awesome. It's Nathan Graham. I sell real estate, and my problem is I just got introduced to sports and entertainment division, and I have no clue where to start.
All right. Well, that's an interesting one. All right. So let's break it down. So you've just been introduced to them. In what context and how? What's the framing of the introduction?
Okay, so the real estate company I'm a part of just started creating a sports and entertainment division to deal with movie stars, athletes, and all the rest. I live in Toronto, so I have this desire to work with the Blue Jays, and I thought, what a great opportunity. So I applied, I got in, and I just have no idea where to go next. There's a lot of limiting beliefs that are behind it. There's a lot of just not knowing the next steps of where to go and how to really break into that market.
So, okay. So let's break it down. Why is there a need for real estate that specializes within celebrities and athletes versus anyone with money?
So I think where that need comes in is more of a specialized training, a confidentiality, a knowing of the city. So what I'm looking to do is be more than just say the real estate agent for that entertainer. I also want to know where to guide them in the city. So it's going to be kind of beyond just the scope of selling or buying a house, right? They want to know what restaurant to go to. We're there. And again, confidentiality is a big one. It's not like we can go bragging on social media that we just helped someone, movie star, find a place in Toronto and where they're at, right? So,
but why is that different to anyone that's affluent?
Sorry, and what's like for what my role would do, or for what?
No, I'm trying, and there's a reason for me asking these kind of challenging questions. But why is what you're doing, i.e., your knowledge, your confidentiality, why is that any different that you would offer someone from, say, the Blue Jays to someone that, just for argument's sake, has a bit of money and wants to buy a $4 million apartment or house? Where's the difference for the celebrity versus someone that's affluent? Because you're not selling $200,000 condos, are you? You're selling the higher end. I just want to know, where's the difference between an affluent person and a celebrity?
So that's a good question, because I haven't really thought about that. So to articulate that would be hard. But I can tell you where the difference lies with me is I don't think my team, so I've been in this for 12 years, we've broken into a semi-high-end market where we've dealt with $1 million homes. We just haven't broken into this kind of elite market, right? So I guess the process in itself really wouldn't be a lot different. It's still the same idea: provide good service, find homes. That process in itself would be no different. I think it's more just, I guess, wrapping your mind around the mindset of it. So.
All right, good. All right. So the reason I'm asking is I'm trying to get you to break it down into a granular level, what it is you actually do and where the difference is. And bluntly speaking, how you treat an affluent client versus how you treat a movie star or an athlete, quite simply, there's no difference there. Okay. Right. So therefore, the having a department, especially for the movie stars and the athletes, that's a branding context, isn't it? That's basically putting yourself out there going, hey, we understand the needs of athletes, and we've set up this department for you. But it's a branding and positioning. So to break it down, it's the exact same, but it's a niche marketing advertising standpoint from you guys. Is that correct?
Yeah, actually that's 100% correct. And it's literally just that. So not only does that branding department deal with the movie stars and the athletes, we also connect across North America. So this division is North American wide, and then we refer back and forth, right?
All right, so I got you.
Yeah.
The thing about, okay, so let's break it down to get into that market. A lot of people, when they brand to athletes and celebrities, for one, they think, oh, they've got more money. I know a lot of people that have 20 times more money and you've never heard of. But a lot of people get involved within athletes and celebrities because the monetary benefit for them. Also, you've got to understand that if you are under the public eye for any period of time, whether you like it or not, a potential ego will appear. You believe you're a little bit better, you have higher demands. The demands of you needing a high-end or the demands of you needing a realtor that knows the area, that knows the market, that's no different to anybody. But celebrities and athletes feel it was. So you're just kind of complying with our ego a little bit. So what you've now got to do is to get into that market. And I believe that's the question, how to break more into that market, correct?
Yeah, like break more to that market and get that clientele, become noticeable. How to stand out from everybody else who wants to as well.
How you can stand out within that market, correct?
Yes,
all right.
correct.
The first thing you got to do is you got to stop thinking of you. That's where a lot of people go wrong. When people are dealing with any kind of affluent market, the first thing they do is they go, I have to look like this. My website has to look like this. I need to drive this car. I need to. No one gives a shit. In fact, the more money you make, the less you care about other people and the more you care about what impact they can create in you becoming in a relationship with them. In this situation, I don't care what you drive. I don't care what music you listen to. I care that what your knowledge is within the real estate industry can benefit me. So in order to do that, you've got to get into the head of the person that you eventually want to be talking to. And you've got to connect with them before you've met. So if you think about your ideal client, as a lot of people use the terminology, the avatar, okay? If you want to get into the Blue Jays, okay, ask yourself, the team, are they predominantly Canadian? Have they transferred in from other countries? Are they local to the area? What needs and desires do they have? What is that schedule of training like? So one of the things you could turn around and go, hey, I understand the training schedule of the Blue Jays is intense. I know you only get 48 hours a week of your own. So therefore I work those 48 hours for my Blue Jay clients. You can lay it out by you demonstrating that you have a little bit more of an understanding and a little bit more of a thought to what's going on within their schedule makes you more appealing to them. Okay. So the first thing I would do is understand who your avatar is. You were very strong at the beginning in saying the Blue Jay. It's very hard to hit a target when you're just going random. Okay. If you're going for the Blue Jays, do your homework on the Blue. Where do they go out? What do they like to get involved in? How is the team made up? Are the team buyers? You can even Google some of the members and find out where they live. Are they real estate investors? This is going to identify if you've got any other competition. Okay. And what you're trying to do is be the solution to that problem. And here's a very key thing. Be the solution to the problems that they're not even aware are there yet. You see, you want to be answering the questions that they don't even know they have a problem to. You want to become the solution. You want to be that go-to guy. When you have your car fixed, they give a shit what oil and what pressure they crank the bolts back into it. You don't care. You care that you can turn up, drop it, pick it up, and it works. You care that that person is the solution to your problem. Start thinking, what problems do Blue Jays have? Are they mostly married? Are they looking for kids? Do they have kids? Are they families moving in? Are they moving in from an area that maybe was very, very different climate and culture to the one that's now in your area? Think of the problems the Blue Jays have. And here's another way of then stepping it in a bit further. You need to find out how to communicate your knowledge and solution to them. So do you have any direct contact with the Blue Jays in any way, shape, or form at the moment?
No, right now, none.
Okay. So you want to find out, you want to see if you could get a hold of, quite simply, I would directly contact the club and say, hey, we're doing a free seminar where we'll come into your office and talk about what you need to consider in this area. There's a lot of changes going on. There's a lot of areas that are expanding. We'd like to offer that as free advice to your players. Would that be of interest? They may go no, they may go yes. You could also talk about diversifying your income in the appropriate real estate investment opportunities in your area. Would this be of interest? Nobody likes athletes to go poor because then they're no longer focused. Okay. So one of the biggest problems with any celebrity and athlete is how to manage their money properly. Okay. You may get a bite on one of those free seminars. If not, I'd like to send a flyer to the players regarding opportunities, how best to do that. Never ask permission. Okay. This is a very key thing. If I want to get a no, then I'm going to ask you a question where no becomes an option in the answer. If I say to you, can I borrow your car tomorrow night? You know, almost instantly, you're going to revert, even though you love me and I'm a very nice, trustworthy face, you're going to turn around and your knee-jerk reaction is to say no, because it's the shortest word out there, but you may go, yes, but basically I have a 50-50 liability of the answer. But if I turn around and I go, hey, Nathan, I'm in your neighborhood tomorrow night. I need to get some stuff moved around. I need a car. What's got to happen for me to borrow your car tomorrow night? You know, if I just put it that way, you can't say no because you sound illiterate. Okay. Yeah. You've got to turn around and go, well, actually, I was using it tomorrow night, of which I would then respond, oh, what about the rest of the week? Are there any days clear of this week? I'm now in a conversation with you. We've gone past the no possibility. Mm-hmm. So what you've got to turn around and go, how is best for me to get my information into your members? What's the best route for me to be able to provide this information? How could I do this event? Actually include the club in your marketing question. A lot of people go, hey, you love this information. It's fantastic. You know, can I come over on Tuesday? And again, you're leaving it open to a yes or no answer. Right. If you're getting an answer you don't like, it's more than likely you asked the wrong question. Okay. What is the problem with the Blue Jays club? Holding on to athletes' money, keeping them focused, keeping them stable, keeping them focused on the game and not on trying to find a house. Therefore, you now become a solution to those problems. So start thinking about what problems they have that you become the solution to, and then all the other stuff becomes irrelevant.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
But it's simple.
Yeah.
Here's the daft thing. It's bloody simple, and so many people won't do it. There must be, that's the Blue Jays. It works very similar with the celebrities, but what you're doing is you're calling for the celebrities and you're calling for the athletes. Mm-hmm. Try and go to the connection to all of those. So try to find out, who are the agents for the Blue Jays? Who are the agents for celebrities? Who are the agents for musicians? And contact them. Contact the CPAs. Contact the financial advisors and say, hey, we're going to do this seminar. We're going to release this information. How's best for me to get it into your hands? Don't ask yes or no. Ask them how best it is for you to get that information that's going to benefit that client. You know, you may have to quite simply wine and dine a few CPAs, financial advisors, home office agents, doctors are a good place as well, medical, especially for athletes, people like this. And then also try and find out, and I guarantee you this happens, there must be, and I'm saying it very arrogantly because I know it's true, there must be a Blue Jay Gala. There has to be a once a year charity event for the club on behalf of saving the sea lions or something. And that's where you've got to show up, sponsor a table, have those conversations at the bar, step up, buy a couple of the silent auction items, those kind of things to get your name and face out there. And again, you've got to do it in a way that you show up not as a sell, but as a solution. And those are different conversations. If I tell you how brilliant I am, gives a shit. If I tell you how I can solve your problems, now you're interested in me. Okay. So if I turn up at 1 o'clock in the morning, knock on your door and go, hey, Nathan, I got this car for sale and I can do you a really good deal on it. You're going to punch me on the nose and close the door. But if I knock on the door 1 o'clock in the morning and say, hey, Nathan, sorry for bothering you, but I'm having a coffee around the corner with the owner of the Blue Jays, and I told him about you and they'd love to meet you. Would that be okay? You'll be putting your best shoes on and dancing around there like lightning, wouldn't you? Because I'm bringing you an opportunity. Okay. I'm solving a problem for you. So my point is that when you turn up as a solution and not as a sale, then you create engagement because that person needs you to solve that problem. Stop asking how pretty you are and what branding you can do and what marketing you can do, and start looking at the problems that those people have and showing up as a solution.
Mm-hmm.
So do you do any marketing at the moment?
Marketing? Yeah. Oh yeah. We do tons of marketing right now.
Okay. So give me a few angles. How do you market?
Well, so primarily, I should back up. So we're primarily marketing to just that residential area. A lot of social media advertisement, a lot of flyers, a lot of door knocking. Again, solution. I'm going to say solution based. My business is really primarily more based on once we start working together, we stay working together.
Okay.
Right. So then a lot of my marketing dollars and time goes into events, coordination. That's what I love your gala concept. And I have to look into that one because that'd be pretty much right up the alley of what we're looking at doing.
Right.
Right.
And you could also
little league teams.
Yeah, well, look, we're getting really horrible here, and people are going to go, "Oh my God, that's so, that's evil." But I am going to give you some direct answers. The local, if you've got money, your kids are going to go to a private school, okay? Mm-hmm. And those private schools have galas and fundraising events. Buy a banner and stick it on the fence. It may sound coarse, but when all the kids are being dropped off to school in the morning and there's your banner promoting your services, and you're not going to go, hey, for the best real estate agent in so-and-so, you're going to say, hey, wishing this school all the best. You're focusing on them by just showing up with your face. Okay. So if you look at good schools, little leagues, things like that, you look after the kids, you'll always get the parents. Okay, it's very shallow, but it works very, very well, especially with local industries. If a local industry, contractors, car repair, attorneys, dentists are a great one. If you can start looking into the private schools and supporting some of their fundraising efforts by sponsoring, that's a great bang for buck and return on dollars.
Awesome. Now, can I ask you a question?
This is your time.
So I want to go back. You're talking about connecting with these different part of the industries, the CPAs, the financial advisors, the doctors, and all the rest.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's not going to be a list of who deals with moviestars.com. What's the best way to go about that? Like, how do you go find these people to start making those introductions?
So you can actually, believe it or not, Google. If you Googled Brad Pitt's agent, you'd actually find out at CAA who he directly was. Believe it or not, that stuff you can find more and more. So if you actually was to type in one of the Blue Jay players and just type the word in agent after their name, it would more than likely come up with the company that they actually represented by. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Because believe it or not, they want that stuff public because they want you to know who to contact when they're going to start negotiating new deals or, any kind of licensing. So it isn't shrouded in mystery. The CPAs and the attorneys, they're going to be harder to find. Okay. I'll be completely blunt with you. They are going to be harder to find. But the agents and the managers, that's a walk in the park. You can type in the name and type in publicist, and it will often tell you who the publicist is. Okay. So that kind of information is not too hard. If you don't have time, then jump on to something like Fiverr and actually retain a VA to actually do it. And they'll do all the Google searching for you. In fact, you can even have them do the reach outs and the connections to validate that they are the managers of XYZ.
Perfect.
Right. It really isn't that hard.
That's awesome. In fact, I didn't realize it was actually that easy to get around that. So
Yeah, there's actually there's a I'm trying to think of the name. There was a book that came out. And I'm gonna quickly look it up while you ask your next question.
So living a bit more in that world, because I do follow you a bit to know you live a bit more in that world. You're talking about solving a lot of those problems. They have like training schedule problems. What's the unknown problem? Like I always feel like, is it a mindset issue that it's like, I feel like there's an unknown that goes behind all this? Like, this is going to sound so ignorant when I say this, but maybe they have different problems that they're trying to face. Like when I look at that, why would they speak to my problem solving, and how many people are typically going after that? Does that make sense for that mindset part?
Yeah, but the last part of that, who gives a shit? All right. You know, how many people are going after them? Who cares?
Oh, yeah, okay? Fair enough.
So that's like looking in the rearview mirror. No one cares. All right. So ignore that. I'm going to quickly give you one thing. Look up something called Contact Any Celebrity. It's a website, www.contactanycelebrity.com. Now, we've used this group before, actually, and you can actually subscribe to them, and you can actually Google through their database who looks after certain celebrities. Okay. I know Tim Ferriss, a buddy of mine, uses it very much. I've used it in the past. It can be really, really good. So that's a database for you online of all celebrities, and you will have athletes in there as well. You want to know what the problem is. You want to know what solution you need to provide. Again, forget how many people are chomping at the bit. You're the best in the field. That's all that matters. Do you know how best to find out what someone's problem is? Ask them. Okay. Quite simply, reach out to the club, let them know that you're looking at assisting new players in the area, current players in the area. I'd very much appreciate, and talk to them, talk to the captain, the agents, the managers, the buyers of the club, and interview them. You could almost do a podcast going, hey, we're doing an interview series to find out what your hurdles are within the industry, what your issues are within the local real estate industry. You know, could I interview you at so-and-so, and actually start to get people to answer your problems? If people can tell you what the problems are, then you just show up as the solution. But you're only going to know what a solution is if you ask them.
Right. I'm just a little speechless right now. I don't even know if other question. This is phenomenal. I've taken so many notes already.
Well, look, you know, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled you're doing this, and anyone else out there, I hope you're benefiting from this. This whole series is going to be us quite simply interviewing Sims Distillery members to quite simply answer their problems, and hopefully it's going to be answering some of yours. So what I would like you to do, as we kind of like get into our last few minutes, is I'd like you to look at your messaging. I'd like you to look at your website. I'd like you to look at your social. I'd like you to look at your advertising. And I'd like you to look at it and ask yourself, does it all say the same thing? Now, that may sound really stupid, seeing as you're the one that's doing it, or you may have a firm doing it, but does it say the same thing? Some people will send out advertising campaigns that has a complete different tonality to their website. On their website, they may be all shy and reserved, and they're all spunky and raw on their email campaigns. Okay. That breeds confusion. Okay. So first of all, look at all of your marketing and look at your website and ask yourself directly, can I believe this is all written by the same person, the same voice, the same point? Okay. If not, change that. Secondly, imagine, stick yourself in the head of a blue jay. If they stumbled upon your website, would it be impossible to misunderstand what it is you do for athletes and celebrities? Would it? I know it sounds weird, but be very, very aggressive. Look at it from a standpoint that you hate it already. Before you've even opened up your browser, get pissed off, hate your website, because here's the daft thing. What you're saying is irrelevant. How it's being received is everything. And if someone's in a bad mood, if you phone up your mate and you go, let's get together tomorrow night, and they're in a bad mood, they may see that as a demanding request.
Mm-hmm.
If they're in a good mood, they may welcome the invitation. So you've got to look at whatever's written as in the worst possible. How could this possibly be twisted? How could I be possibly confused with what it is I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
And less is always more. So if you were a Blue Jay and you saw that flyer, you saw that email, you saw that website or social, would it say the leading agency for celebrities and athletes providing the solutions you need for the best real estate in the area? Would it say that? Does it say that?
It will be saying that.
Well, this is you're going to be getting a copy of this recording as well. So I do suggest you actually can drag it down and dissect it and take those out there. But I want to be able to find it impossible to find confusion in you. I want to be able to know exactly if you're going after athletes and celebrities, tell me you're going after athletes and celebrities, but tell me why. And by saying I am the solution to all your problems, now I know why.
Right.
Okay. That's the way it needs to form.
That's awesome.
We're getting close to the end of our little 30-minute coaching here. So do you have anything else that we need to focus on for the last few minutes?
Well, one last question for you, because I'd be amiss not to ask this. So you've been doing this for a while. What's the one thing you could tell me that just you beat your head against the wall as you see people do? If there's that one piece of advice that I don't even know to ask, what would that be? Focusing on you. Whenever anyone gets into an industry, the first thing they do is get imposter syndrome. We've all had it. And they start focusing on how they look, how they act, how they come across. The worst industry in the planet for this, real estate. How many times do you see, especially, and I'm going to call it out, female realtors? They have a picture up there from a photo shoot they did in the 1990s. That was when they were just trying to decide between glamorous modeling or real estate, and they're still using that picture. Mm-hmm. So they're not using their current pictures. People get confused. You've got to stop worrying about you. You are not important. The solution you bring is important. So what I bang my head against whenever we're doing any media or branding for any of our clients is stop thinking about the I, start thinking about the them. Okay? It's all about them. How do you show up for them? If you're fat and ugly, gives a damn. Focus on the solution you bring to the table, and that's all that anyone will ever care about. Look at me. No one picked me up because I was gorgeous and I sounded like Hugh Grant. They got into business with me because I was focusing on being the solution for that problem. And throughout all of my life, it may have been branding, marketing, or just giving you a really good cocktail story. That's awesome, man. All right. Nathan, thank you very much for being on the coaching call. It's been a pleasure to get to know you. Hopefully our paths will cross again in the future. Thanks for being a member of Sims Distillery. Any smart person should be. But more importantly, don't waste this time. Actually dissect it, utilize it, and reach out to me and let me know how you're getting on. Sounds good. I will do, man. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I really do appreciate it. All the best. Bye. Awesome. Hey, this is Steve Sims, and I hope you liked that episode of Being Coached by Steve Sims. Subscribe over here, watch some other cool videos over here, or for your chance to be coached by me for the YouTube series, join here at simsdistillery.com.